Did you know that over 100 million adults in the US and UK drink alcohol regularly, with roughly 1 in 5 consuming it on a daily basis? In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to reveal something that neuroscientists, hepatologists, and addiction specialists have been studying for decades. The exact step-by-step transformation that occurs inside your body and mind when you consume just 2 drinks every single day for 365 days straight. Whether you're examining your own evening routine, trying to support a loved one, or simply curious about the human body, this breakdown might completely shift your perspective. Today, we're diving deep into the physiological reality of daily drinking, using the latest research from the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, the CDC, and Harvard Medical School. Before we begin, if you find this science-based content helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe. This video is for educational purposes only. If you or someone you know is struggling with alcohol use, please seek professional medical care. Resources are in the description below. In this video, you're going to discover, first, what actually happens to your brain's chemistry during the first 30 days of consecutive drinking. Second, the hidden tipping point, how daily intake silently reshapes your liver, gut microbiome, and cardiovascular system by month 6. Third, the long-term structural changes to your organs, sleep architecture, and mental health after 365 full days. And finally, the incredible science-backed timeline of how your body repairs itself when you choose to stop. Now, before we jump in, let's set some context. Alcohol is one of the most culturally normalized substances on Earth. In the United States alone, the CDC reports that excessive alcohol use contributes to over 178,000 deaths every year. In the UK, alcohol-related hospital admissions have topped 900,000 annually. You might be watching this because you've noticed your evening glass of wine slipping from a weekend treat into a daily habit. Or maybe you're worried about a friend whose stress relief seems to rely heavily on a bottle of beer. There's a lot of noise out there. Some older studies claimed a daily glass of red wine was good for your heart, while recent global studies argue there is no safe level of alcohol consumption. Today, we're cutting through the headlines and looking at what current cellular biology actually reveals. Let's start with the basics. Alcohol, or ethanol, is a central nervous system depressant. That means it doesn't actually relax you in the way a massage or deep breathing does. Instead, it systematically slows down your brain's firing rate. When ethanol enters your bloodstream, it crosses the blood-brain barrier almost instantly. Let's break down what happens in your brain during those first few weeks of daily drinking. In your brain, alcohol targets 2 major neurotransmitters, GABA and glutamate. GABA is your brain's natural brake pedal, calming neural activity. Glutamate is the gas pedal, keeping you alert. Alcohol binds to GABA receptors, artificial amplification of that brake pedal, while simultaneously dampening glutamate. Think of it like muffling the engine noise in a sports car while slamming on the brakes. At the same time, your brain releases a flood of dopamine in the nucleus accumbens, the reward center. Your baseline dopamine might sit at a normal level, but that first drink spikes it significantly, telling your brain, "This feels good." Remember this. In your body, your stomach and small intestine absorb the ethanol directly into your bloodstream. Your liver immediately halts its normal metabolizing duties, like processing fats and storing vitamins, to prioritize breaking down ethanol via an enzyme called alcohol dehydrogenase. Within 30 to 60 minutes, users experience mild euphoria and lowered inhibitions as the prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making, slows down. Flushed skin and altered heart rate caused by acetaldehyde, a toxic byproduct of alcohol metabolism that dilates blood vessels. Disrupted motor coordination as the cerebellum loses its precise signaling ability. Suppression of vasopressin, an antidiuretic hormone, forcing your kidneys to dump water, which triggers dehydration. During the first week or 2, this daily routine might feel harmless. You might fall asleep faster or feel a quick release of work stress. But here's what most people don't realize. Your central nervous system is an adaptive machine. It doesn't like being chemically altered every single day. What happens when your brain decides to fight back against this daily dose of ethanol is where the real concern begins. Let's look at the timeline of what happens when daily alcohol consumption moves from weeks into months. During the first month, your brain realizes that its GABA and glutamate levels are being constantly manipulated. To maintain balance or homeostasis, your brain does something remarkable. It downregulates its natural GABA receptors and creates more glutamate receptors. It's trying to push back against the alcohol's depressing effects. This means that original one glass of wine or beer no longer produces the same relaxation. You've developed tolerance. Now, without that evening drink, your brain has too many gas pedals and not enough brake pedals. The result? Restlessness, mild anxiety, and heightened stress responses in the late afternoon. By month 3, daily exposure to acetaldehyde creates chronic low-grade inflammation throughout your digestive tract. A 2024 review in gut microbiome research highlighted that daily alcohol consumption erodes the protective mucosal lining of the stomach and alters the balance of gut bacteria, a condition known as dysbiosis. Toxic bacterial byproducts begin leaking through the intestinal wall into the portal vein straight to the liver. Your liver cells, overloaded with processing daily ethanol, begin storing excess fat. This is the early stage of metabolic dysfunction-associated steatotic liver disease. It causes no pain, but is actively occurring. By month 9 and heading toward a full year, the brain's reward architecture is fundamentally altered. Remember that dopamine spike? Normally, natural activities, like eating a great meal, exercising, or laughing with friends, release balanced amounts of dopamine. But alcohol releases unnatural, concentrated spikes. Over a year of daily exposure, your brain intentionally scales back its natural dopamine receptors to protect itself from overstimulation. This leads to a state called anhedonia, a clinical term for the inability to feel joy from normal, everyday activities. The morning cup of coffee, hobbies, spending time with family, they all feel gray and uninteresting. Your brain has been rewired to associate relief and pleasure only with the evening drink. You aren't necessarily drinking to feel high anymore. You are drinking just to bring your chemistry back up to a tolerable baseline. Genetics account for roughly 40 to 60% of a person's vulnerability to this cycle. But environmental stress and starting daily habits early in life dramatically accelerate it. Now, let's examine what a full year of daily alcohol consumption does across your physical and mental health systems. The cardiovascular system, daily drinking, even in moderate amounts, consistently elevates blood pressure. Ethanol stimulates the sympathetic nervous system, causing blood vessels to constrict. Over 365 days, this chronic tension increases the risk of hypertension, cardiac arrhythmias like atrial fibrillation, and weakens the heart muscle, a condition known as alcoholic cardiomyopathy. Sleep architecture. This is perhaps the most immediate damage. Alcohol may help you pass out faster, but it completely destroys sleep quality. It acts as a potent suppressor of REM sleep, the critical phase where your brain processes memories and emotions. As the alcohol clears your system in the middle of the night, your body experiences a glutamate rebound, causing frequent micro-awakenings, night sweats, and elevated heart rates. After a year, chronic sleep deprivation leads to cognitive fatigue, premature skin aging, and systemic inflammation. Cancer risk and immune function. The World Health Organization categorizes ethanol as a Group 1 carcinogen, in the same category as asbestos and tobacco. Daily metabolism of alcohol produces acetaldehyde, which damages cellular DNA and prevents cells from repairing themselves. Over a year, this daily exposure measurably raises the risk of cancers of the mouth, throat, esophagus, liver, colon, and in women, breast tissue. Additionally, daily alcohol dampens your white blood cells, making you significantly more susceptible to seasonal viruses and bacterial infections. Mental and social impact. Mentally, daily drinking acts as a compound interest loan on anxiety and depression. While you might use a drink to shut off a stressful day, the chemical rebound the next morning elevates cortisol, your stress hormone. This creates a perpetual cycle, drinking to cure the anxiety caused by yesterday's drinking. Financially and relationally, a daily habit adds up. Spending just $10 to $15 a day on alcohol equals over $4,000 to $5,000 annually. Relationships often suffer from subtle emotional absence, irritability, and unreliability as focus shifts toward the evening routine. Now, I know reading off these biological realities sounds intense, but here is the most astounding part of human biology. Your body is remarkably resilient. The damage caused by a year of daily drinking is not a permanent sentence. The moment you break the cycle, your biology begins to reverse the process. If you or someone you know is considering stepping away from daily drinking, here is what evidence-based medicine tells us about the recovery process. Important safety note: if someone has been drinking heavily every single day for a year, stopping abruptly can trigger dangerous withdrawal symptoms like seizures or delirium tremens. A supervised medical detox is often the safest first step. What happens when you stop? At 72 hours, glutamate and GABA levels begin their long journey back to equilibrium. Brain fog starts clearing and hydration levels normalize. At 1 month, sleep architecture normalizes, meaning REM sleep returns, boosting energy and mood. Liver fat drops significantly. Studies show liver fat can decrease by up to 15 to 20% within 30 days of abstinence. At 6 months to 1 year, gut barrier integrity restores, blood pressure stabilizes, cancer risk drops, and natural dopamine receptor density recovers, allowing you to feel genuine joy from daily life again. Evidence-based action strategies. If you want to change your relationship with alcohol, consider these proven methods. First, cognitive behavioral therapy. CBT helps you identify the specific triggers, like stress at 5 p.m. or social anxiety, and rewires your behavioral response. Second, medication-assisted treatment. MAT FDA-approved medications like naltrexone can block the opioid receptors in the brain, reducing the craving and reward cycle associated with drinking. Third, habit replacement. Your brain craves the ritual, not just the chemical. Replacing the evening drink with a high-quality non-alcoholic beverage or a physical activity provides a healthy substitute for that transition time after work. Key takeaways to remember. First, alcohol alters brain chemistry by mimicking GABA and flooding dopamine, leading to rapid tolerance. Second, daily drinking forces the liver to prioritize toxin processing over fat metabolism, leading to early-stage fatty liver. Third, alcohol destroys REM sleep, creating chronic daytime exhaustion and heightened anxiety. Fourth, cancer risk increases with daily frequency, not just extreme binging. Fifth, the body can heal. Within months of stopping, brain receptors, liver cells, and cardiovascular health recover significantly. Reaching out for support isn't a sign that you've failed. It's a sign that you're taking control of your biology. If you found this scientific deep dive valuable, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for weekly evidence-based content on health, neuroscience, and recovery. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Have you ever tried taking a break from alcohol, like Dry January or a 30-day challenge? What changes did you notice in your body or mind? Let's start a supportive, judgment-free conversation down below. All the scientific references, medical guidelines, and confidential helplines for both the US and UK are detailed in the description box below. These resources are free, anonymous, and available 24/7. In our next video, we're going to examine what happens to your brain when you quit sugar for 30 days, and why the withdrawal timeline looks surprisingly similar to other substances. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of your body, protect your mind, and I'll see you in the next video.